have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? Happy talk, keep talking happy talk. Talk about things you'd like to do. You gotta have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? Happy talk, keep talking happy talk. Talk about things you want to do. You gotta have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? If you don't have a dream, you gotta have a dream. Gotta make those dreams come true.
or not, that knowing that they are safely guarded and protected and guided and reunited with their families, and that that presence and that power of peace is right where they are. So we can take that into our hearts and know that as we take it into our hearts and know it, that it's known, because we all live in that one spirit, that one mind. So let's take a moment of silence specifically for that. And so staying in the centered place, I know that there is only one mind, one power, one spirit, one source. And that is love. That is what it is. And I know that just as Ernest Holmes wrote once, love is a cosmic force whose sweep is irresistible. I know that love always, always, always provides what is required. So I know that in this moment, for these children, for their families, knowing that they are in God's keeping, in love's keeping, in spirit's keeping. And I raise my mind to know that there is always, always, always a solution for everything, a resolution for everything. And it is always a loving resolution. And it is already in place right now, because I know behind everything there is a divine perfection that is unfolding. It is unfolding and is making itself known. That divine presence cannot be stopped. So I get out of the way of how it happens. I just know that it has already happened with ease, with grace, with love. As I take this word I am speaking and I release it, I let it go into law, knowing that as I speak, my word does not come back to me void, as we affirm together. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you for joining in consciousness today here at Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, where if you're here for the first time, we practice the science of mind and spirit. And it isn't anything new. It's resounded through the ages, through all the mystics and all the great teachers that we've had on this universe and beyond. Just saying one thing, and that one thing is that presence and that power, and that one source is all that there is. There's not two powers, there's only one power. It manifests itself in many forms, in many ideas, and to the degree that our mind and that our being is in sync with that, to the degree, then our life unfolds accordingly. So we do believe in the power of our beliefs, the power of our mind, and how we use it. And so coming to the center and going even beyond the center, the most important thing is to know that you are the steward of your mind, the steward of your consciousness. So, yes?
Yes. And Friday we saw the Buddha, a movie here, and it was just so wonderful to embrace that philosophy that is very much in alignment with this philosophy. And it makes sense, because when we were watching it, Rita and I, we kept looking at each other going, oh my, science of mind and spirit. Ernest Holmes, he must have been pulling from them as well, because that's what he did. He went around and you know, if there's a good thing happening, it's good to bring that in. So he went around and just brought in all of the most wonderful, mystical, magical, if you like the word magic, wonderful principles that we practice here, and how nice that we are always connected to all of these philosophies. And so just makes me feel good. So since I feel good, I know you guys feel good, but I know there is some new people in the audience today. this morning. And you know, when you're this relaxed, anything can happen. Just so you'll know. Just so you know. Stay tuned. Exactly. So who is here and wondering for the very first time, because I know you're here, let's get the hands up. I recognize you by your shells. There you go.
Yay.
There you go. Back there. Okay, this is the good news. We have gathered, and we know you're Reverend Doug LeBeau, so we've gathered some information about each and every one of you. And can you say text? No. So what I do know about each and every one of you is something we'd all like to share because we're all in on it, aren't we? Yes? Okay. You are magnificent. Ah, yes, you're relieved, aren't you? Because yes, he's going, no. So why we know that about you is because we know that about ourselves. Just like peace, there's no possibility for peace if you're not feeling peace inside. There's no possibility to see your magnificence without seeing ours. So shall we say it together? I am magnificent. And if you didn't think that was enough, there's a camera back there like letting in everybody, our business here at CSL Kauai. And they're out there, and we have a lot of people that are on the mainland. And they watch every week, and we even have people on island who say it's too far to go to Kaua'i, so they are actually watching from their house. So let's let them know who they are. You are magnificent. Now look to your left, to your right. Let somebody know exactly who they are. Barbara's magnificent.
Barbara, we'll introduce you now since we just left you over here.
Okay.
All right, you are magnificent.
You are magnificent.
Steph, you're magnificent.
Okay, let's get on our feet.
As
our
Barbara
magnificent
Davis
feet.
leads us in our song, we have Barbara with us
And
today.
it's in the program.
And Luis on drums.
Aloha, Barbara.
We've all been together before, dancing and singing along the same shore. So weavers of sound and light, gather together once more. We gather to share our love. We gather to share our love. So weavers of sound and light, gather together once more. We send our love out to all of the world. We send our love out to all of the world. So weavers of sound and light, gather together once more.
As we bathe in this light, as we bathe in this thing called love, as we bathe in this thing called life, I am so grateful for the opportunity to recognize who and what I am in every moment, and who and what each and every one of us is in this moment. And that is that eternal life, that is that breath, that is that power, that mind that had this idea and it attached your name to it. What good news that is, right? So we've come together as family today, as ohana, as community, as separate, yes, in our individual expressions, but never separate from the oneness of who and what we are. So I just know that this time together is ordained good. It is ordained perfect. It is ordained from love. So I just say yes to it all. And as we continue on through moment to moment to moment, celebrating that thing that we are, and that is good. That thing that we are, and that is love. And that is a good thing to know right here and right now. So knowing that, I just release my word, knowing that my word will never come back to me void, because it is the word. And so I just know that, I celebrate it, I release it, as together we affirm. And so it is.
We send our love out to all the world. We send our love out to all the world. So weavers of sound and light, gather together once more. We've all been together before, dancing and singing along the same shore. So weavers of sound and light, gather together once more.
Thank you, Barbara. And Luis?
Hi, everyone. I just invite you to just settle down and just either close your eyes or just keep them open. It doesn't matter, but just take a deep breath. As I send out a couple of seed thought for you to think about. Through radical generosity, we are awakening an already inbuilt divine consciousness of goodness. I am choosing alignment with that. Awesome. Through radical generosity, we are awakening an already inbuilt divine consciousness of goodness. I am choosing alignment with that. Awesome. radical generosity, we are awakening an already inbuilt divine consciousness of goodness. I am choosing alignment with that. And knowing what I now know, that divine generosity lives in and through me, creates through me, for me, and as me. And I am one with that. And the child in me delightfully swings in that generosity with such glee and such amazing joy. And I am grateful. I am grateful for that generosity. I'm grateful for that generous spirit that lives in me and through me, that I just align with it and it happens. And it's beautiful. And I'm very grateful that there is that sense of power and generosity that is living in me and always has been. And when I finally allowed it to happen, it happened so gently and so beautifully. And so with that gratitude, I release my word into the law of being that says yes, as together we say, and so it is.
Turn to your program. There's a chant by Etika Luckett and Lisa Ferraro.
I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am. I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am. I am.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Wow, what a week. So I want to start with this quote that I heard today. Actually, I think I heard it during my mental muscle boot camp, which is now over. I was taking the 16-week course, having to get up 3:30 in the morning twice a week for 16 weeks, but I stuck to it. Anyway, because that's what you have to do when you want change in your life. You have to make a commitment to yourself. That's why we, for me, why I think it's great to become a member of a spiritual center, whatever one you decide to do. So you have that support to be accountable to these things. So anyway, the quote was by Emerson, and it's perfect. It's every man or woman is a divinity in disguise, a god playing the fool. Every woman, man is a divinity in disguise, a god playing the fool. I love this because this is what we teach. That's why Emerson was a great influence on Ernest Holmes. And if you don't know who Ernest Holmes is, he was the founder of Science of Mind to Spirit, religious science. And as Patrick was saying, he studied, he left school when he was 14. Don't think about that, any kids out in the audience. But he did leave school when he was 14 or 16 or something, and decided it wasn't right for him, and he went and became a student of life. And that's how he picked up all these philosophies. But in our teaching, we do say that we're already perfect. We're already perfect. If we weren't already perfect, we wouldn't be able to get to be perfect, because we're already divinely designed to be perfect. And we're just revealing that. And I call that spiritual evolution. That is what spiritual evolution is. What if you want to call us human beings, whatever you want. I don't know. I'm sure there's others in galaxies and all over the place, revealing God within themselves, revealing that infinite intelligence, that power, that divine presence. And the spiritual evolution is us revealing it. So when Jesus said, "Greater things shall ye do," he meant it. he was talking to those people and he meant it. Who you are today is not going to be the same people that you are 2,000 years from now. You're going to change. You're going to be more aligned. You're going to get this. And yeah. And to tell you the truth, I'm going to be talking about kids in a minute because they already know who they are. And I think they let us know very, very soon that they know who they are. Thank you, Malia. So one thing that Ernest Holmes says in the text that I love, he says, don't try to go beyond your own understanding. So he says, since our spiritual awakening is not sufficient to enable us to mentally set bones, we call in a surgeon. Since we cannot walk on water, we take a boat. We can only go as far as our spiritual knowledge takes us. Principle is infinite. This thing, we're already perfect. Principle is infinite. But we shall demonstrate its power only at the level of our concept of it. So don't let anyone discourage you or belittle your efforts by asking, why don't you walk on water? Jesus did it. I'm sure that's the way Ernest Holmes said it. Why don't you walk on water? Jesus did it. Why don't you set your bones? Jesus did it. Why don't you do this? Jesus did it, or whoever did it. Why, if you really believe what you do, why aren't you doing it? Well, if we had the understanding, he says, and I'm talking about Jesus today because, he was one of the great mystics and really embodied this thing called life, this thing called God. If we had the understanding that Jesus had, we would be able to walk on water. But is it really that important for us now to walk on water? I think we have other things that we're trying to deal with right now than walking on water. And I'm sure when we get to the place where we'll walk on water, we will if we need to walk on water. But one thing I do know is when we have to do something, we do it. Think about the energy. We were talking about this the other day, and I want to get into it a little bit. That they say a mother would have if a car was on top of her child, she would be able to lift it. What the heck is that? That spirit knowing itself in that moment so powerfully that nothing is standing in the way between the physical world and the spiritual world, and she's got to do what she's got to do. And I've seen people do that with their health too. They've said, you know what? This isn't okay for me. I don't have the money to go to a doctor and do this, so I'm going to have to do it myself. I'm going to go back in time because the mystics of the 1800s, the Myrtle Fillmore and Charles Fillmore, who we studied on Wednesday night with Reverend Diane, they didn't have a choice. They didn't have the medical resources that we had. So they were like, this doesn't work for me. I'm going to heal myself. I'm going to know there's a power within me that I can align with. And Myrtle, it took her 2 years to heal herself from a disease that was fatal, but she did. Why is this important? I don't know. It's important if it's important to you. But I know one thing that is important is that we live our lives to the fullest, that we live our lives with an opening in there that allows us, that's what this whole teaching is about, is for people to have better lives, whatever that looks like for you. And to start where you are and never let, Ernest Holmes writes, start where you are. It's the only place you can start is right where you are, and not to belittle yourself for where you are, but to know that wherever you are evolving, and we're all evolving. That's the truth. And that's what I love about community, because we all get to evolve together, and we all get to help each other, and we all get to just, share our stories, share our successes, share our failures, share it all, because it's not really a failure. So I wanted to talk a little bit about medical miracles, though, because I had a granddaughter recently, I think some of you heard about her more than others, that last weekend was hit by a car while she was riding on her bike. She had no helmet on, and she was tossed up into the air, and her head smashed against the windshield and broke it. She walked away from that accident with some bruises and some road rash. Now, I've been trying to explain that to myself since it happened, but I have no idea. I have no idea why she cracked her head on a windshield, and she was telling me, Granny, guess what? I cracked the windshield. And I'm like, really? So when she comes to visit us in July, we're going to have a little talk about that, about wearing a helmet. But I feel, I've been trying to think on it the whole time. What was it? And the only thing I can think of is that in that moment, there was some choice on her behalf that said, I'm not going right now. She might not have even known it. I don't know what she knew. I know, you see those movies where somebody goes through a near-death thing, and then it looks like hours have passed, and then in one instant they're back and somebody's giving them CPR. I mean, I think it was like something like that, where she made a choice. Because in this philosophy, we believe in choice. We believe in choice. We have choice at all times. So if she didn't have a choice, then this philosophy is a sham. And the other thing is, we weigh things as good and bad. And I think the moment that we can release good and bad, like why was that person hit the windshield and they died, or why did that, I think we give things labels. And I think as soon as we can release, I think it's called what's it called? The something of opposites. As soon as we can realize there are no opposites, it's all one thing. Cause is one thing, effect is one thing. It's all one thing. There's not like this happens and that happens. As soon as we can release that idea, we'll see that if somebody chose to leave, although we mourn them, because I would be telling a different story today if she had left, right? But if we can realize that there is no good or bad, it's just choice at all times. And although we mourn and we cry and we, and all of that, we would have a different understanding of it and a different acceptance of it. That, people in this philosophy say they find, like I remember Dr. Jim Lockhart lost his daughter in a car accident, and he said there was a bottom to my grief. So it's all evolution, it's all spiritual evolution, but we have to be willing to start where we are and to take the concepts and work on them, take the concepts and think about them. And I'm going to go to, and also to believe that there is a solution and a resolution to it all. Like I'm going to just move to this political thing with the kids in El Paso and them being separated from their family, this horrendous thing that happened in our country. If you don't watch the news, I'm not going to go into the whole story, but they were separated from their parents, and their parents were going to go back to their country, and the kids were here, split apart. I mean, it was horrendous. Okay, I heard about that, and I just wept. I don't know how many others heard and wept, but I did. And I felt helpless. And I felt like, what can I do? And oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And I went through all that. And then I went into prayer. And then I made one little effort that I could make, and that was to call my senator and say it wasn't acceptable. Then the next thing I knew, and the next day or something, I saw our president signing something, right, that said that he was reversing his thing or whatever. Now, I know a lot of people had different ideas about that and why he did it, and, blah, 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 and he's lying, and we go on and on. But what I'm going to tell you is if we would just stop for a moment and say, everything that's happening is a solution, a resolution, and start seeing the outcome as perfect. Forget about him. Forget about all our politicians. Just start seeing the world the way we wanted to see it, and keep sticking to it even when we don't see it. That's what we say in our philosophy. Keep sticking to it even when we don't see it, because the time to do our work, Ernest Holmes writes, is when things look the worst. That's the best time to demonstrate, because we have something to work with. I don't want to turn my eyes away and go, no, this is not happening. I want to look straight in the face at it and see through it and see that there is a solution, and to keep seeing it even when we don't. Because what happens is we give up. Or we put it to an outside force and say, oh, they have to do this in order to make it right. No, they don't have to do this in order to make it right. We need to do this. Nobody needs to do anything. I need to see it right. See the love. See the solution. Because there is, I'm going to tell you guys, it's true. And you can look at your life and say it's not true, but we are seeing the world through our own mind, through our own eyes. We are seeing our lives. What is showing up in our lives is what we believe and what we think. It's not bad or good, it just is. And spiritual evolution is all about starting where we are, taking a step, whatever that is, and then going with it. Putting action to it. We have to put action. We have to say we believe something and then put action behind it. But we don't put action behind anger and emotions flying all over the place. We really think straight, and then we put action behind it. And even if this is one little small step, it could be one little small step. Like, I was depressed, but I was able to get out of bed this morning and go get a cup of coffee. That's a small step. But it was a step, right? So there is always a solution. So I really believe that. So there's a quote. I think I'm going to read this quote. It's by, I'm reading a lot of Ernest today. There is an unfoldment in man, just like let go of the man thing, because, he was writing in the early 1900s. So I don't want to have to put woman every time. Oh, you know what? I'll just change it to woman. There is... How's that, guys? Okay, there is an unfoldment in woman. Yeah. There is well, we're all yin-yang anyway, right? There is an unfoldment in woman that says she can advance only from going from where she is to where she would like to be. As woman unfolds, her mentality, law, automatically reacts to her. If, day by day, we have a greater understanding and a clearer concept, if daily we are realizing more of the truth and applying it to our actions, then we are on the right path, and eventually we shall be made free. It is a wonderful, I love this part, it is a wonderful experiment and a great adventure to make conscious use of the law, to feel that we can plant an idea in mind and see it gradually take form. That's like amazing. It shouldn't be like a hard thing. It shouldn't be something that we're like, all depressed about or feel like we're fighting so hard. It should be like an experiment. I think of this as an experiment. Every day I get up and I go, wow, what's going to happen today? What am I going to think today that's going to make my life better today? What am I going to do? What am I going to do with that thought? How am I going to put it into action? It's an experiment. And even when we're in the doldrums, I've been in like the pit of it. I had to carry a chair down on Beverly Boulevard one day because I had no money, thinking I was going to make money on this chair. And my mentor, so that's a thought, that I don't want to think about you, Rita. But at that time, that's where I was because I didn't have a dime. I got a check in the mail for $10, and I thought it was oh my God, I can make it through today because I got a $10 check. So I've been to all of these rodeos. And I know that by keeping my mind, on the truth of how I wanted my life to be, I was able to move from here to here, and now I'm going to move to here, and it's all happening. So I just know that we can get the help that we need when we need it. That's what practitioners are for, or whatever spiritual healer you go to, or whatever. We're all healers. There's people to help you, to talk to you, and to assist you, because what we do is we lead the person back to themselves. That's what we do. We don't take any credit for this. We lead you back to you. And I know that's what a true healer does, leads us back to ourselves. So one day I was having, and I'm going to close with this. One day I was in a dark space, and I was running, and I heard this voice, and it said, "Stay close to me, I'm here." I'm telling you, stay close to me, I'm here. That presence is right here. It's here within each of us. And it's never going to let us down, ever, ever. We are spiritually evolving. We're never lost. We're right where we are, and we can take one little step if we choose to, or not. That's okay too, because we're always divinely guarded, guided, and protected. I know that. I claim that. And I just know it's the truth. So, really, there's one more thing. And this is the important one. I read this there's a book called It's All God by Walter Starkey. And he said, unless one's consciousness has evolved to the point where it is ready to experience one's divine nature, there is nothing anyone can do by human effort to make it happen. This puts the responsibility all on our shoulders. I can't make it happen for you. You can't make it happen for me. My mentor can't make it happen for me. Nobody can make it happen for me. And Dalai Lama said that in the Buddha film the other night. He said it's up to us. So it's all about where we want to be and starting from where we are and knowing there's a greater tomorrow. So, mahalo. Thank you. Barbara?
This is a song by Carole King. Looking out my window, Peace in the valley just don't come. Though I know that he's my brother and I'm the selfish one. The hour is getting later, it's time we had begun. Knowing something's one thing, but the race, it still needs run. Take care of little jealousies and talk that kills for fun, and hold your heart in readiness. It's so easy to come undone. And I think I saw a brand new light coming over the horizon, brighter than any other, and it says all men are brothers under the skin, together under the skin. Looking out my window, peace in the valley just don't come. Though I know that she's my sister and I'm the jealous one. I look at all the people and I love the ones I can. And I wonder if this dream will be or be turned into sand. And I think I saw a brand new light coming over the horizon, brighter than any other, and it says all men are brothers, all women are sisters, we're all related under the skin, together under the skin. Peace in the valley just don't come. Peace in the valley just don't come. Peace in the valley. You know, peace in the valley's got to come. It just might come. If we believe it'll come, 'cause we're together and we're together under the skin. Peace in the valley, peace in the valley just might come. Peace in the valley's got to come.
Wow. That's beautiful. We're all the same under the skin, because that's where spirit lives. Wow. That was wonderful, Rita, to see you and your passion. Yeah, to see that come up. And sometimes we just can't hold it back, can we? I like this: one small step equals one giant leap. Have you ever been there? Yeah. Sometimes that leap is a push, by the way. Yeah. It'd be nice to be like Harrison Ford, right? And then let it happen. But sometimes it's like, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Thomas Troward, and if you've studied him, you know that he loves commas. And for those of you who don't know what I am talking about, it means that he doesn't put a lot of periods at the end of it. He just keeps going, kind of like me. Yes, but he is brilliant and he is a mystic. And this is what he says: if we do what we are able to do today, it will open the way for us to do something better tomorrow. Right back to what Rita was saying, right where we are. Right where we are. I found this other beautiful quote, from, and I know I'm going to say it wrong, but Ruth will help me out. Baal Shem Tov, Do you know? Close. I was, yeah. Let me fall if I must fall. The one that I am becoming will catch me. Doesn't that just vibrate your whole body? Let me fall if I must fall. The one that I'm becoming will catch me. Whew. I'll have them printed up for all of you out there now. Wow. We had a practitioner retreat, a day retreat. We do it twice a year. And our focus was healing. Because we talk about that we're a healing and we're a teaching center. But I'm not sure everybody understands this whole idea of healing. It's confusing. We say it so much. I mean, words kind of lose their feelings when we use them a lot. It's like, it takes a village. We were talking about that this morning. It's like, how many times can we say that? It's like, it doesn't have always the same thing, because I had that idea of like, we're in this together feels really good now. It's the same as it takes a village. And this week, we went and we started to talk about this idea of healing. And we were talking about, the yeah buts. This is good at healing, but. And just because I can't put, if I didn't have legs, and just because I can't put legs on me, doesn't mean that we can't. Just because I can't do it doesn't mean that it can't be done. Or this is called spiritual evolution. Just because I have this idea, and I really want to, and it's interesting, when you're talking about health, it's kind of like you're walking on, a fine line, right? Because if you say anything about responsibility, then everybody gets real. Then we go into, as we've been working with our inner child this week, we go into that shame thing. So I don't know if I had it here. I actually brought it, but would you mind? Yeah. Because I wanted to read it because it has two ideas about healing. But what I wanted to say mostly about healing is that just because someone doesn't heal the disease doesn't mean they weren't healed. Can I hear amen on that? And we don't even say amen. We say, and so it is. All the same thing. At the end of the day, it's a period there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Rita. And because I had mixed feelings when I read this morning, I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and read it. If prayer has been answered, it is not because God has moved to answer one man and not the other, but because one man more than another has moved himself into a right relationship with the Spirit or the principle of being, whichever one that you want to call it. I want to say something because I know what I can hear when I read that, because I'm one of these people that can hear the whole world responding to me after I read something. And it's like, well, then I guess I'm wrong if I didn't align myself right. That's not the truth. There is one thing going on at all times, and that's what this philosophy stands for. It's returning ourselves back to who we are. Simple as that. Know thyself. Know thyself. And that's the good news. So I think this whole idea, feel the passion. I think this whole idea of judging ourselves in the midst of what we're going through is what keeps us in prison. It keeps us absolutely in prison when whatever it is that you are experiencing in the world of form, celebrate it. It is that right and wrong, good and bad that keeps us in what the Catholics call purgatory. That's that place where you don't get to go anywhere. You're just kind of in the middle. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I'll wait till you tell me what to do. Silly. But still I respect you. Sorry, I lost myself there. And the reason I say it's silly is because we're playing a fool when we are God. Just like the Emerson quote. We're playing a fool. And what is a fool? A fool is just someone who sometimes is misguided. himself. In the dictionary, it says that it's silly and that you're missing the mark and you're not responsible. And so what's interesting about this philosophy is it's called you have to take responsibility, which doesn't make a lot of people want to come in the door, by the way. So everyone says, I can't understand. We finally have a philosophy that honors the God within. We finally have a philosophy that says, you are magnificent. We finally have a philosophy that says, no matter what you do, you could never be that wrong that I am not going to love you. I am that love. And yet, the doors don't, they're not rushing, they're not going, got to get some of that. And the reason is because, as we've said before, responsibility, it's a scary thing. And let me tell you what also happens when we play the fool. If you don't like the word fool, I'm sorry. We don't like the word fool because it makes us feel not really good about ourselves. But what I do know about what the payoff, this word isn't popular either, that there's a payoff in everything that we do and that we experience. And the payoff when I'm a fool and I'm, as Ernest Holmes would say, living in ignorance, is that you won't expect a damn thing out of me. As long as I'm the fool, you don't expect anything from a fool, do you? Wow. Payoff time. Ding, 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 ding. Big payoff. I can be over here. I won't have to worry about that you want something from me. I don't have to worry about being God, because if I am God and you are God, what the hell are we going to complain about? What will we do when the evolution comes and you go, oh, lot less talking, a lot more being. And so this idea I really want to get clear for me today, and in that practitioner meeting was so wonderful because we really explored that idea. So I even looked up, because Dr. Peggy was talking about Jesus's miracles. And here's the thing about miracles too. Miracles are responsibility as well. And here's the thing that just got me this morning. I looked up the one with Jesus when he healed the blind man. And it was just so funny because, of course, he's healed, right? And he's in there washing his face, and he's starting to see his hands for the first time. I was blind, now I see. And what's the first thing they say to him? They don't say, oh my God, how did that happen? I want some of that too. They said, I bet he was never blind to begin with. Oh, I bet he was never. Let me talk to your mom and dad. Was he blind when you were? Yeah, he was really blind. Really? Huh. Well, then he was pretending to be blind so he could get all that cash. Oh, yes, they do. And so then he has the responsibility too, because he goes, I can see, and nobody's going to give me any more money because I'm not blind anymore. Have you ever been there? I don't want to make too much money because then they're going to take taxes from me. They're going to charge me extra. So I'm going to stay poor. I'll get them. Wow. It was like a real eye-opener, pardon the pun. It was so wonderful to really embrace the idea that sometimes I get a payoff. And maybe it doesn't feel good, and I know a lot of people, you'll meet me at the door, I'm ready for you. And because you'll meet me at the door, you go, are you trying to say that this is a payoff? And that, no. What I'm just trying to say is there is good in everything. And so when somebody doesn't heal at my command, which I would prefer they did, would make me look very good at the end of the day. When that doesn't happen, get out of their business. You haven't a clue what's going on inside the individual journey of the Spirit. Don't feel sorry for me. Assist me, love me, guide me if necessary. But do never forget that everything that is happening to us, if we choose, is for the divine good. Exactly, speak it. So, wow, today all of a sudden I was all calm and now I got all excitable about this because the time has come. A little baby, speaking of which, when they walk, they're not overanalyzing everything. They're not, exactly. They're not like going, well, if I do this left and then this right, maybe this will be okay. You know, they just go, they keep up, falling up, falling down, right? Until they finally can walk, and that's all we're doing. We're just keep falling down, getting back up. Let me fall if I must fall. The one that I'm becoming will catch me. Oh, how nice. And then I don't have to expect so much out of all of you in our lives. Right? If you'll just do what I want you to do, man, I'm going to be so happy. I'll be fulfilled. Tell me who I am. No, we are becoming, such evolution. I'm so excited about this. We are becoming that wondrous power that can change everything. Doesn't it change your mind for just a second? Think of the people that, the ones that you're giving your sympathy to. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. I said the other day, we had a very, very private moment, and it's going to stay that way in our inner child work. And it was me who exposed some really, really wonderful things. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, don't feel sorry for me. Love me. You don't have to feel sorry for me. I am in a journey that is mine. No matter what has happened to you in your past that has led you to this moment, it's not that you're going, hallelujah, you're reframing it. You're owning your story for the first time in your life. No matter what the story is, you're owning it. You're grasping it. You're becoming something new, and then you become an absolute mirror for the world. Whatever you're going through right now, whatever it is, if it's dis-ease, discord, love is there. And if you don't remember, give me a call. I'll remind you. That's all we're here to do for each other, is to remind each other of who we are becoming. Every manifestation that has ever been since the beginning of time has become is from us becoming the very thing that we desire. The creativity, the creative flow, call it creative medium, makes itself out of itself. So I will end on this little, I had so many epiphanies this week, we could have an epiphany party. But what I realized was this. Someone said, I got caught up in a swirl. Have you ever done that? The swirl of negativity. And negativity, let's stop saying negative, positive, but what I'm talking about is it felt like crap. Let's just tell what it is. And there was 2 vibrational frequencies going on. I was telling a few people the other night, I said, God, I feel so heavy and this is situation, because you know what I did? I plugged right in to the condition that I was trying to escape from, by the way. I don't want that in my life. I certainly don't want that. Let me plug on into it. Yeah, and then you get on the bandwagon with it. It's very exciting. It's like, then you go, can you believe they did that? Oh, they don't. And they not only did that, but they did this and that and this and that. Why do I feel like crap? I don't understand it. I'm all tight and my shoulders are up like this, and I'm going, God, I'm trying to get away from this. Plug in. So I immediately went to my favorite mantra now. I am vibrating at the frequency of the divine. Oh, it is a woo. I am vibrating at the frequency of the divine. Oh, excuse me. I am vibrating at the frequency of the divine. Oh, monkey mind's coming back again. I am vibrating at the frequency of the divine. And then my body starts resonating. And then I start seeing things different. I see them clearer. I'm vibrating my whole body, and I'm looking over there, and I turned away from that. But I think too many times, I was telling Rita this last night, I think it was, you're trying so much to go out there that you're forgetting all that what's going on right here. And so when I felt that real energetic, unplug from that and plug into the divine, I felt light. I felt so at one. But it takes work. I'm sorry. It's all good. I wish we could just go pump, pump, and so it is. So it is, and it is, until you plug back in again. So it's okay. What I think we're all at in evolution is we're going to throw all the damn plugs away again. I'm cussing a lot today. I don't know what that, because when I got passion, I got to say damn and all those words. But what I mean is I think it's time to throw all the cords away. Throw them all away and stand right where you are. I'll end with that beautiful, beautiful quote again. Let me fall if I must. The one that I'm becoming will catch me, and it will catch each and every one of you as well. And so it is.
This is an original. When I woke up this morning and gathered my thought, I realized I'd had a dream of living on earth in peace with no violence. Oh, what a beautiful thing. I remember we shared and cared for each other. There was no more need for war. I remember we lived as brothers and sisters. What more could I wish for? Let's return to times remembered. Let's return to love. Let's return to rainbows and flowers. A new earth has begun. So I picked up a pen and I wrote down this song to remember this feeling inside of living in peace and living in love, to keep my dream alive. Let's return to times remembered. Let's return to love. Let's return to rainbows and flowers. A new earth has begun. As I woke up this morning and gathered my thoughts, I realized I'd had a dream of living on earth violence. Oh, what a beautiful thing. Oh, what a beautiful thing.
Oh, what a
Thank
beautiful
you, Barbara. Woo! Thank you. Thank you for sharing your beautiful creativity with us. All right. This is our time of conscious giving, affirmative giving. And I want to thank in advance for all the support, both off island and on island, for this beautiful center that is getting ready to celebrate its 5th birthday. Yay. And definitely growing. So thank you so much for what you give today from CSL Kauai's heart, and what you give in consciousness, what you give in time, what you give in tithes. It's wonderful. So thank you very much. And let us read our affirmation, because as we give, we receive. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life, and the world. And so it is. Yes, we have a new gratitude song, so follow Barbara.
Grateful, I am so grateful for all that I have, all that I am grateful, I am grateful. Let me figure out what key I'm in here. Grateful, I am so grateful for all that I have, all that I am grateful, I am grateful. Thankful, I am so thankful for all that I have, all that I am thankful, I am thankful. Grateful, I am so grateful for all that I am, all that I am grateful, I am grateful.
So what I know now is that. Okay, so now what I know now is this generosity, this beautiful funds that have come through for CSL, whether it be in this basket or out in the world, coming in through live streaming. Very, very grateful for the generosity that it can go out into the world and do wonderful things. And I am just joyed and overjoyed and overthrilled with the idea of generosity in my own life, and I know that it covers many areas of all of our lives, and so it is.
So it is.
Thank you, Michelle. All right, so well, let's have the kids come up first.
There we go.
We got a little tribe today, and Janice Perez, our youth leader. Oh.
Yo, Malaya's here.
This is Janice, everyone.
Good morning, guys. Hi. We are truly becoming a tribe. It's beautiful. Today we had a great time. We did 3 main things. We did some book reviews on stories, and we did a sage ceremony, and the kids each read a book, and Moen's was just my dad and me, and thank you.
Only so many hands.
And the book, we talked about books remind us to do stuff. So what did the book remind you to do, Moen?
Be creative.
Be creative. And Ruby read Albert the Peace Tree.
I read 2 books actually. I read the one that Mo and read to my brother, and then I read Albert the Peace Tree, also to my brother, I think. So it reminded me to notice everyone, because I know it's pretty boring. So yeah, that's
You want to say something too?
here. You can speak.
And we did a heart meditation, getting in touch with our hearts. Yeah, we were busy today.
So let's do our affirmation for the children. Okay, it's in your program.
There we go.
Are you ready?
Ready?
You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you. And we send that blessing out into the world to all the children.
Beckham?
Thank
Isn't
you.
that right?
Yeah.
Beckham.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. All right. So before we close, we just want to mention that a couple of things. We will have our practitioners up here. You want to come up right now, the ones that are serving?
Practitioner? Okay.
If anyone would like some prayer treatment about something in their lives, want to know some truth about it, these wonderful people, Dr. Peggy, Stephanie, and Deborah, will assist. But what we want to do is it's now, it's early. So,
Yeah.
okay, so when do you want to start? It's
Just like
10:20.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
It will be done about 10 minutes
10
after
minutes
that.
after this, we would like to start that meeting so that we don't keep everybody here, and we're going to try to keep the meeting too. But it's very important. We just know that we would really love for you to stay and hear what great news we have and how we're moving forward. So that will start shortly. And so these practitioners, if they're still praying, they will move over to the side so that we can start the meeting. So please don't hesitate to come up and have a prayer if you want it.
Exactly.
And is that all we need to say? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. So grab your cake, your coffee, go to the bathroom,
Oh,
and
and
then
there's
just come and sit down.
also a treatment box in the back if you want to write something up and then put that in there. We'd be glad to take that as we do every Sunday and take it into the absolute knowing of its
Yeah.
perfection and truth.
All right. Thank you for coming today. I think that's it. So we're
Yes.
going to close out. So come on up. And I think Barbara has a new song. I think it's a new song. I don't. Yes.
I am surrounded by love. I am surrounded by love. I am surrounded by love. Love is who I am. I am supported by love. I am supported by love. I am supported by love. Love is who I am. This love won't let me down. This love won't let me down. This love won't let me down. Love is who I am. I am a part of this love. I am a part of this love. I am a part of this love. Love is who I am.
So right here and right now, let's just take this moment and center ourselves in gratitude. And from this place of gratitude, what I know is that gratitude is what moves our lives forward. The more we are grateful, the more our life moves forward to more and more wonderful and amazing things. So I am grateful today for Michelle and her announcements and all she does for this center. I am grateful for the Malama team today, which was Deb and Michelle and someone else that just stepped in, but I'm not sure who Sue Wood. Thank you. I am so grateful. And to Stephanie right here, our practitioner intern, who took us in prayer and meditation. I am grateful for Rob back there, who brings our message into the world through the live streaming, and Jonathan, who makes sure we're heard. To Peter and Arlena, who every Sunday, or pretty much every Sunday, bring us a beautiful, amazing bouquet from their garden. Thank you. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for Roseanne and where she's brought this bookstore over this year into a more and more educationally beautiful place for people to unfold and learn and grow. I'm grateful to Ron Stover and Charles back there who hold the hospitality team in place at all times, and Analia and DJ and all the people back there who just make sure we're nurtured and nourished with beautiful food. I'm so grateful. And I am so grateful for Barbara, and Louise today for joining us and for supporting us in music and inspiring us, and to Janice, who has taken care of our youth since 2014, guys. So I know our youth center is growing and flourishing. I'm grateful to her, and to Michelle and Sue, who are counting the beautiful blessings of abundance that came in today. And if I've forgotten anybody, please forgive me. I thank everybody I said Louise, everybody online who's with us today, and everybody out here, thank you for bringing your consciousness. So what I know right here and right now is we leave this moment and move into the next moment, that we are safe, we are guarded, we are guided, we are protected at all times, and we are flourishing and growing just where we are, forward thinkers. That's who we are, and that's what our life exemplifies. So I'm grateful as we release this word together, as we say, and so it is.
I am a part of this love. I am a part of this love. I am a part of this love. Love.